Something I have got, Crystal, that a lot of people, and I say this because I have been working in the life insurance industry with Transamerica for the past 7.5 years. And every time I meet clients, I ask them, do you know what life insurance is good for? What are your thoughts? I think when I met with you a couple weeks ago, I asked you the same questions.
Probably.
I said, Crystal, what's life insurance good for? And you said, well, Jay, it's only good if you
die.
It's good if you die.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody you come in contact with, if you ask the next 10 people you come in contact with, what's life insurance good for? They're all going to give you the same reply. It's only good if you die.
Right.
What I have with Transamerica cannot cure cancer, but it can be used as a shock absorber against it. And I say that in the term of something that's called living benefits. Living benefits comes in a term product and also a permanent plan. It would cover illnesses such as if someone was diagnosed with cancer, heart attack, stroke, ALS, grocery list of illnesses a mile long, end-stage renal failure, unable to perform 2 of the 6 daily living activities like eating and bathing and dressing, for example. That and also the loss of 2 or more limbs. Great product. If someone was diagnosed with that, they could withdraw up to 90% of their coverage amount. In other words, you wouldn't have to die to collect like you would with typical policies out there. A lot of people feel like the only way you can benefit is if you die. And I heard one guy tell me this, Jay, why do I want to leave a lot of money to my wife so she can run off with a boyfriend? It's
shame on him.
Shame it is. But the thing about it is we take that worry away. You can actually be benefiting. You can be living and benefit from your life insurance policy. It's helped out a lot of folks that, for example, if they were diagnosed, they could withdraw money to pay off mortgages, car loans, you name it. You do what you want with those funds instead of just, we don't tell you what to do with it. It's your opinion. It's your call. A lot of people have no idea that a product like that is out there.
I think I told you that same thing. I had no clue.
And you're not alone.
Yeah.
So many out there. In your mind, Crystal, seeing what your mom went through, knowing with what, let's face it, if you didn't do the due diligence to go to the doctors and say, hey, what do I need to do?
Right.
Could this affect me? There's a chance, there's no chance. They told you it was coming for you, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's something that people would benefit from hearing about right here in the small town of Hickory, North Carolina, for example?
Absolutely. And it's funny that you say, I don't know if it's social media or just word of mouth or just more population, but hearing about even young people, right? Like 20s, 30s, teens that I've even heard. But it's more prevalent. Like, I don't know if it's just, again, like social media, if you just hear about it a lot, but I feel like every couple of weeks, I see that someone that I went to high school with or a friend of mine's parents, is getting sick. Like, I don't know if it's just the reality that we live in, and I don't know if I'm just getting older, right? And so people that I surround myself with, if I'm just hearing it more because of age, but I could think of numerous people, like just right off the top of my head, that something like this would be helpful. And even circling back to my mom, she was single, right? She lived on her own and she worked full time. And so when she got sick, like she had her insurance policy through work, right? And it had like a cancer added benefit to it. But in all reality, for her to have any type of treatment and her to get help and just maintain living, right? Like she had to do that herself.
Exactly.
And it got to a point where she physically could not work anymore. And it was weird to see because she was so literally the most strong-willed, independent person I've ever met in my life, still to this day. But it was hard to watch, like, her try to navigate that process because she wanted to still, like, do it on her own and provide for herself. But, being in her mid-50s and being a single female, like, she just kind of got in a position where she felt stuck. Like, do I do treatment, or do I like keep myself strong enough without treatment, like continue to work to pay for my bills? And of course, like a lot of us rallied around her to help the best way we could, but her being herself, like she hated that. She hated not being able to provide for herself. And I hated watching her struggle, like back and forth, right, with the right decision to make. Exactly. So especially something like that, like thinking about while she was here and like that added cushion, just to give her a little bit more comfort and like even to keep her self-esteem boosted as long as it possibly could, right? That she could support herself, because even if you're sick, like you still want to keep your dignity, right? Like you still want to stay true to who you are. Like she handled it better than me going downhill, like seeing her. But I know that it was like no one wants to see their self-control like slip away from them. Right. So I think financially, right, having that extra cushion would have given her a little bit more control, a little bit longer, and maybe even felt better like leaving me behind, because she was just, moms like by nature always want to make sure that their children are taken care of. So it probably would have given her a little more comfort in that too, and not thinking that her daughter was going to help her with anything. And right. But I was happy too. She just, I don't know, I could imagine it would help a lot of people.